LAPD chasing a shooting suspect.
And Desmond Shaw, live overhead in Sky Cal. Looks like it's on a freeway. Hey, Des.
It sure is, Pat, here. This is another one. This is a very dangerous one here. This one started in South LA. This is an alleged shooting suspect hauling in this black Hyundai right now, westbound on the 105. LAPD trying to keep up. Now, this driver has already hit a motorcyclist when they were southbound on Vermont. It's unclear how serious that wreck was. LAPD said that they were backing off on this one, but it looks like they are trying to actually catch back up with this vehicle as we're about to hit some traffic here. Westbound 105 approaching the 405 freeway, actually coming up on Crenshaw Boulevard pretty quickly. We saw this person getting really, really fast from a distance southbound on Vermont. It looked like they were probably up to 70, maybe even 80 miles an hour. Now going on to the left-hand shoulder here, the center divider to get around. Incredible desperation. You can see over 100 miles an hour right now here. We are on the lighter volume side here. We're encountering a little bit of traffic there on the 105. I mean, look, we're still trying to catch up with this guy.
Yeah.
We first got visual right around the 110 and the 105. We'll see where the suspect decides to go as they head towards the 405 freeway. So if they cut all the way to the right, they'll get to the 405. If they stay to the left, they'll stay on the 105, which ends near El Segundo, just west of LAX.
LAPD 77th Division is the one handling this, and they were not going to go into tracking mode because he was wanted for a shooting. They were going to chase it the whole time, and it wasn't until he hit that cyclist that then they said, okay, you know what? Let's back off a little bit. Let's go into tracking mode. Clearly, that hasn't made any difference here because we're still going at incredibly high speeds. You know, at one point on city streets, he was even driving the wrong way on city streets as well. So we're going to check in with the fire department, though, right now because that's where they sent an ambulance to that person. So we're going to hopefully get an update on their conditions as we get off the 105 now.
All right, and we know that, Desmond, this is going to be a little more difficult for you because this is going to get into airspace, the LAX.
Remember, with Imperial Highway, it sort of does go into city streets as well. It looks like they're right next to
that's LAX,
right there on the right-hand side, heading to the beach.
That's right.
Yeah, so they're on Imperial West, actually. If they were on the 105 West, they went on right over to Imperial, and they're going to, like, tee right at Dock Weiler Beach if they end up staying straight. And then that's when, Giovanna, they'll decide, do they want to go right to Playa Vista or left towards Manhattan Beach?
That's right. He's coming up on Vista Del Mar. Now he's slowing down. He was driving much faster a little bit ago when we first came up on him on the freeway. But yeah, we'll see here which direction he takes, if he goes towards Playa del Rey or into Manhattan Beach. Either way, the streets are narrow. Lots of people out on this Friday night. Lots of traffic. People, this is the time when people are heading home. And he goes, or is he going straight? He's going right across. Oh, no, that was Pershing.
Did he take a right on Pershing?
No, he didn't. I believe he went straight towards Dock Weiler. Did we lose him? He went straight. So he would be going to the left. The helicopter, oh, maybe he made a U-turn.
Trying to figure out if this is he's going pretty fast. Yeah, I think it's got to be this black car here, based off of the rate. Getting on the 105, eastbound. Hey, yeah, eastbound, Jim. Cool.
Breaking news, the LAPD is in pursuit of a shooting suspect.
Gil Avis overhead in Sky 5. Gil.
It's LAPD Southeast Division that went into pursuit of this vehicle. Shooting suspect, like you said, was westbound on the 105 freeway, crossed over the 405 freeway, went all the way to the very end on Imperial Highway, and then reverse course. Here we go, eastbound on the 105 freeway, approaching the 405, desperate to get away, moving in and out of lanes. You got the airship from the LAPD overhead with its nights and lights and multiple units in trail of this vehicle.
The LAPD behind this, obviously CHP is aware of this. There's the LAPD airship overhead. And the question at this point, well, if he's getting off the freeway, LAPD remains the lead agency, Gil, unless and until this goes on for some time on the freeway, at which point you might see CHP. Is this a transition road, Gil?
Yeah, it looks like he's exiting here onto, I believe that's going to be Prairie and using that off-ramp here. Now he's in that left turn lane, or the left lane there, and will likely, well, we'll see if he goes north on Prairie or not. He's weaving his way in and out of traffic. Whoa, I don't know if he hit that car. He's got cross traffic. Nope, he's going to come southbound back across the freeway, and will be going into Hawthorne now. So you see this, look at this, wrong side of the road, right down the center of the street there. He's going to come into a turn here that I believe is going to be Imperial Highway. Now eastbound Imperial Highway, very dangerous out here.
So it started out in LAPD 77th Division, which is South LA. Wrong side of the road here. Oh, this could be very dangerous. But to answer your question, there are a number of squad cars. They're just not behind him because they can't be behind him under these conditions. I'm just holding my breath. I'm so sorry. This is so dangerous. He's on a major road here, Crenshaw Boulevard. Can't be any busier than that. And here you go. Here's an LAPD unit finally within our line of sight. That's going to be trying to chase him the best they can, but with these dangerous driving conditions, it's going to be tough to keep up with this one. At this point, they just can't try some of those usual pursuit tactics that they might be able to employ because, first of all, these people may be possibly armed. They are wanted in a shooting investigation, so you can only make that assumption. And so for that reason, they have to be a little more careful when this pursuit does come to an end. And of course, with these roads being as busy as they are, a pit maneuver is not really going to be a possibility. There's just too many cars. Even if you were to slow down to a reasonable speed, which is ideally 35 miles an hour or so, what they could try is a spike strip, but of course they would have to try to figure out what direction he's going in order to be able to successfully to deploy a spike strip ahead of him. He just went west.
Basically, on the approach end of one of the busiest airports in the world. So this is really difficult for everyone involved. With the ground units dealing with all the traffic and trying to balance public safety with trying to stop this person. So very, very difficult one here as we are very nearby SoFi Stadium, making a turn though southbound. So this will improve our shot coming down Club Drive here.
Yeah, we see him right there. Now making a turn.
And Pat, just for some perspective on what Desmond was talking about, there is a 747 that is flying over the top of the LAPD helicopter. The 747 is at 700 feet.
Wow,
the LAPD helicopter is at 200 feet. So obviously there's no room for us to be sandwiched in between all of that as well. So that's why we have to stay where we have to stay. Now we're in a parking lot.
We wouldn't want you to be up there either.
Yeah.
Not close.
And just a few moments ago, that was the closest we've seen police actually get to this shooting suspect. And we talked about this, Mike, a few moments ago about how delicately they handle situations like this because it is a shooting suspect. So they may not do that pit maneuver right away.
Right, and as we were going through that parking lot, getting back onto the eastbound side of Century, now behind that building there.
Them being frustrated because they can't do a pit maneuver simply because of, knowing that this person is a shooting suspect, possibly armed. Guys, do we know anything around the shooting? Or do we have any information about where that could have happened and what was involved?
So not yet. We're working on that. LAPD 77th Division is the one who started this. They're still involved in this. So they don't have time to talk to me at the moment because they're still doing this. So we're working on that still, though. It looks like is the trunk open now, Des?
Oh, yeah.
It does appear so. Yeah, might have been the trunk release. Yeah, in all of the panic here of the driving, it looks like the trunk is wide open. So that's going to obscure their rear vision right now. I mean, they still have their side mirrors, but so over by LAX and then near SoFi, and then into the parking lot, and now into another parking lot. We're going to have a lot of people out here walking around the supermarket right now. So more danger for the public. Lots of people walking around. I mean, getting up to 30 or 40 miles an hour in that parking lot. So once again, LAPD with that balancing act coming back out around, and you just wonder here if they were maybe looking for a place to get out and run, if they thought that they could, run into a big department store like a Walmart or something. It's another thing that we've seen happen many times in the past. But LAPD was right there to, just in case that suspect tried something. So looping around again. Now into the same area, cutting up. Oh, I might have even made contact with that car right there. That was very, very close.
Perhaps switching. There you go. He comes out the other side. What is it with this parking lot and this strip mall that this driver's so interested in?
boy, twice now, and all those people that are there is a very dangerous situation. Going back towards the officers, we can't see it, but...
Or, no, there he is.
That looks like, oh yeah.
Is that it?
You see the car, the tires are
That's
smoking. Yeah, you see the smoking.
Yeah. So maybe he hit another vehicle?
Yeah, or
Looks like we're getting word he's losing his left front tire.
yeah, may have taken one of these dips. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's driving with a cone underneath.
That
looks like a cone.
Something, but they're not gonna. That's what's probably smoking is this cone, not necessarily the tire. But that's kind of scary
There's
because I
something
think
underneath the vehicle there.
yeah, it looks like an orange cone. You're right, Giovanna. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Now it just has to.
I think he's gone back into the same parking lot again. Yeah.
He's on the road now.
Everyone really struggling to keep up with this one. Now a really tight turn here back onto Crenshaw.
I mean, if they've got their guns, their weapons drawn, and you're down there in that traffic, that's got to be a little disconcerting too. If you're, another just motorist. Is that the vehicle there on the left? Now he's trying to get through.
Trying to get through these cars. It might be.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
This is just incredible, and into a parking lot here, and a question of where this is going to go. This could be a trap here, a sort of dead-end situation. LAPD on him, and by the way, doing a remarkable job to stay on the rear bumper of the suspect, and all that this driver's been doing over the last 15-20 minutes.
And I'm sure that they're just waiting for him to get to that sweet spot of like a little bit over 35 miles per hour for them to perform a pit maneuver and put this to an end. But at this point, this suspect has put so many people in danger already.
This is just incredible to watch this driver moving at these high speeds in a situation like this. It is virtually impossible to continue this for any length of time without hitting something.
We do have an update on the bicyclist he hit. Fire department is still on scene with the bicyclist. We're told it's a 35-year-old man that was struck by the suspect. And before, we'd gone back and forth. LAPD wasn't sure if it was a motorcycle or a bicyclist. Fire department's telling us it's a bicyclist. They are treating him on scene, which is the good news. Hopefully that means, if they didn't hurry up and transport him, that means hopefully the injuries aren't terribly severe. But he is being treated on scene as we now make a westbound turn, which is going to make this even worse for us to see.
It's hard to tell because of how far we have to be, but they are very close to that McDonald's, as you see the units there. They're still trying to get behind this guy. Again, they were supposed to be in tracking mode, but because of the airspace restrictions, the helicopter, they couldn't keep up, or they weren't allowed to be overhead, is a better way to put it, because of the LAX airport. And basically, there's just planes landing right over where the pursuit is taking place. So for that reason is why the airship has backed off. It's ground units only. We, of course, have to back off too, but trying to keep the best eye on it that we can. There we go. We got a runner. So we got one person running. The vehicle's there in the center divider there, and we do see that person running. Hard to see from here, but you can just make him out there in the middle of the shot. We're shooting this from... Yeah, so at this point, only seeing this one. I saw him come out the passenger side, but that may have been in an attempt to trick police. Actually have, in addition to the man who's being detained now, they have two runners, and one of them just threw a gun. So we've got two runners in the neighborhood. Police are trying to detain them. The airship's actually following one of those guys. They said that he was wearing camouflage, and he's holding his waistband, which is always of concern because there's a possibility that he could have an additional weapon beyond the one that officers saw him throw out. So there's still an active foot pursuit taking place. We've got the arrest taking place here
in the middle of Friday rush hour traffic.
There we go. We got a runner.
LAPD launched a pursuit of a stolen car from South LA. Inside, police say two men wanted for another crime.
These people are wanted for shooting, and it was LAPD that first started giving chase out of the 77th Division.
News Chopper 4 followed the driver through Westchester and Inglewood as he drove recklessly at high speeds on the wrong side of the road at times and running red lights at busy intersections. The driver hit at least one car and a motorcycle.
Before we got overhead, this driver actually collided with a motorcyclist. That was near 94th and Vermont in the South LA area.
The pursuit ended in Hyde Park on Crenshaw near 66th Street, where News Chopper 4 had to keep a distance from LAX airspace. The driver and a passenger did attempt to run. Police caught one man quickly while the other ran toward the Hyde Park motel. Police said the man threw evidence over a fence onto the lot of a few homes off Crenshaw Boulevard. Coincidentally, detectives tell me they had been investigating one of the homes on that lot where the man threw a gun. A man at that address was wanted for robbery. After more than 30 minutes, people came out one by one. Several were cuffed, and we saw police enter the home. Police say they arrested both the pursuit suspects and the man wanted for robbery. They did not provide any details surrounding the initial shooting that prompted the pursuit. In South LA, Anastasia Olmos, NBC4 News.